In this lesson, we will be creating a floor plan, and our objective is to create a floor plan by adding 4 rooms for component placement. We will open the constraints.board if it's not already open. In this case, we had opened up our Allegro, and the constraints.board was already there. And we'll do a zoom fit by going to fit button right here. Click it. And you could also do just an F2. And of course that's a function key F2. The next thing we're going to do is toggle our grid points on, which they're not on right now, but if you click this button here, which is your grids, they come right up. And the next thing we want to do is set up our grids, so we go into Setup and Grids. And in this case, we want our grids to be 25 and 25. 25 in the X, 25 in the Y, no offsets. And that's done, and we say OK. In this section of the lab, you will first turn on the layers that display the room information. You add 4 rectangular rooms to give them each a name. Each set of coordinate points that you enter becomes a diagonal corner of the rectangle. We now want to turn on the top room and both room colors on. In order to do that, we go into our color palette, and we expand geometry and board geometry, and we see that both rooms are here. It is clicked, and we also want to make sure that the top room is clicked. We see that top room is clicked, and we have a dark green for the top, and the bottom is it is kind of a gray, which is fine. And we can click OK. So let's go into Setup, Outlines, and it will be Room Outlines. We want the channel 1, which is correct. We want it in both rooms. We want to draw a rectangle, so everything here is fine. Then we go to the command line, and our engineer tells us that we want to be 1300 and 1500. So we put that in. And that's X 1300 and 1500, just like that. And that gives us that little rectangle there. And then the other dimension is 3900 and 700. And we just hit an enter, and channel 1 is in. The room we want to put in is channel 2, which is right there. And the engineer tells us that it's an X 1300 700 and X 3900 minus 100. So we put that in, X 1300 700. You see that's right there. And the next dimension is X 3900 minus 100. And we just hit an enter. Now we have channel 1, channel 2. The next one we want to put in is mem. And we've got a here, and we see that there is a mem right here. And that is set, and that will be good, just like that. And the dimensions of that is X 1900 4200. So we put that in, hit an enter. And the next part of our dimension is X space 3900 2200 and an enter. And the mem is in. And now we're going to change the side of the board to top. And we want to put in the LED, which is this one right here. And the engineer tells us that we start our room at 1400 and 2200, and just hit an enter. And the section dimension is X space 3900, 1500, and hit an enter. And our LED is there. And you can see that the top room has a different color than the both rooms, which is very beneficial if you want to know where you should be putting your components. So now that we all have all our rooms in, we can say File Save, and we do want to overwrite the constraints.board. We say yes, and that's the end of putting the rooms in.